studi, yaitu Program Studi Dokter Ilmu Administrasi.
Program Dokter Ilmu Administrasi Universitas Brawijaya berkomitmen menjadi pusat penyedia sumber daya manusia yang terkemuka dan kompetitif di bidang ilmu administrasi, yaitu administrasi publik dan bisnis yang bertaraf nasional dan internasional untuk kesejahteraan masyarakat bangsa dan negara, serta terus mengembangkan ilmu administrasi publik dan agribisnis sesuai dengan perkembangan ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi untuk kesejahteraan umat manusia.
Kami berkomitmen untuk menjadi pusat penyediaan sumber daya manusia Indonesia terkemuka dan kompetitif di bidang ilmu administrasi, baik administrasi publik dan administrasi bisnis pada level nasional dan internasional, sehingga mampu memberikan sumbangsinya yang paling tinggi bagi kemanusiaan dan kesejahteraan bangsa dan negara kesatuan Republik Indonesia.
MPM terdiri dari seluruh perwakilan organisasi yang ada di FIA. MPM memiliki tugas untuk mengawasi dan juga mengontrol setiap organisasi kemahasiswaan yang ada di FIA.
Dewan Perwakilan Mahasiswa merupakan lembaga legislatif tertinggi yang ada di tingkat universitas maupun di tingkat fakultas. Tugas dari Dewan Perwakilan Mahasiswa itu sendiri adalah legislasi, fungsi advokasi, dan fungsi controlling.
Badan Eksekutif Mahasiswa, kami bergerak dalam memberikan pelayanan, pemberdayaan, pencerdasan, dan juga pengabdian sosial. Selain itu, BEM juga mengkoordinir lembaga-lembaga kemahasiswaan yang berada di bawah naungannya. BEM FIA juga menjadi jembatan penghubung antara dekanat dengan seluruh mahasiswa yang ada di FIA.
iMabis merupakan organisasi yang secara aktif menaungi aspirasi dan merepresentasikan seluruh mahasiswa jurusan administrasi bisnis yang termasuk dalam 3 program studi, yaitu administrasi bisnis, perpajakan, dan pariwisata.
Pajak adalah himpunan mahasiswa yang bergerak di bidang akademik dan advokasi, yang memiliki tujuan untuk meningkatkan kualitas mahasiswa perpajakan di Indonesia, serta berkontribusi untuk peningkatan mutu program studi perpajakan Fakultas Ilmu Administrasi Universitas Brawijaya.
Himapar sebagai tempat untuk menyampaikan aspirasi bagi mahasiswa pariwisata dan sebagai tempat untuk meningkatkan minat dan bakat dalam bidang pariwisata.
Humanistik adalah himpunan mahasiswa jurusan administrasi publik. Humanistik melayani mahasiswa jurusan administrasi publik dalam bidang akademik maupun non-akademik, dan juga pengembangan hard skill dan juga soft skills.
Himadika adalah himpunan mahasiswa program studi administrasi pendidikan. Himadika merupakan salah satu organisasi mahasiswa yang menaungi seluruh mahasiswa administrasi pendidikan dalam memberikan pelayanan akademik maupun non-akademik, serta menunjang kemampuan hard skill dan soft skill yang mereka miliki untuk berkembang menjadi lebih baik.
HMBUP didirikan dengan tujuan untuk membina insan akademis, pencipta, dan pengabdi yang berdasarkan Pancasila dan Tridharma perguruan tinggi.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Prof. Terima kasih Bapak Dekan.
Good morning, Pak Hermawan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pak
beloved.
Pak Kajur.
Sehat Pak Dekan.
Sehat. Ya. Mohon izin Pak Kajur, Pak Her, ini dari rumah karena kami sambil memonitor proses pemakaman Mbak Yu.
Oh ya, Bu Iksan ya.
Kami turut berduka cita.
Innalillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
Sudah hadir Prof. Bambang, Bapak Warek 4.
Nggih. Matur nuwun Pak Warek, proses.
Alhamdulillah, sami-sami.
Juga dari Simeo.
Siapa dari Simeo yang sudah hadir, Pak Her? Dr. Etel.
Pak Wahyudi. Kayaknya
Mas
tadi
Lukman mau
kelihatan.
diinformasikan ke Bapak Dekan.
Itu Pak, Dr. Wahyudi kayaknya yang sudah datang.
Assalamualaikum, Pak Wahyudi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ada Mr. Charles Barreto dari
Pak Wahyudi dari Simeo, and also Rafael Kada from Simeo. And also we have Dr. Chanmon from Simeo.
Chanmon.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Chanmon.
Ada Mas Agung juga ini. Makasih.
Ya. Morning.
Luar biasa.
Pak Agung Farudin. Yes, head of International Office, Faculty of Administrative Science. Thank you, Pak Agung.
From Faculty of Economic and Business, Mr. Jamaluddin. Also.
Ini banyak mahasiswa ya Pak?
Iya.
Banyak
Jadi Prof, memang programnya untuk pengembangan mahasiswa di international level dan terkait dengan pengembangan kurikulum program studi yang berstandar internasional. Bapak Wakil Dekan, Pak Yusri, terima kasih atas kehadirannya juga.
Oke, Pak Hermawan. Mohon izin masih dari rumah nanti, Pak. Akan siang ke kampus.
Pak Yusri, mohon nanti kantornya dijaga ya.
Yes, sebentar lagi, Prof. Ini masih ini dulu, baru saya berangkat ke kampus.
Ya.
Bapak Kajur, Program Ilmu Administrasi Publik, Pak Prof. Andi Fepta, terima kasih hadirannya.
Siap, J. Kawan. Alhamdulillah. Prof.
Oh iya, ini nggak bisa nih.
Sudah kabarnya?
Oh enggak.
Kalau dirasa sudah siap, bisa dimulai. Pak Her, Prof. Sas juga sudah hadir.
Terima kasih, Mas Aulia. Monggo dimulai.
Ampunan bisa saya mulai, Pak.
MC.
Ya. Mas Taufik ya, Pak Sri ya.
Oke, Pak.
He is head of laboratory of language in Faculty of Administrative Science. Terima kasih Mas Fajri.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Profesor Dr. Bambang Sikrana MS as the Dean of Faculty of Administrative Science. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good morning. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to all of you to spend your time to join in iVISID 2021. iVISID stands for International Visiting Scholar in Education. I hope that all of you are healthy because nowadays there's pandemic of COVID-19. Because today we have very amazing guests. Let me introduce you. The first one from Southeast Asian Minister of Education Organization, Dr. Ethel Agnes Pecua from Venezuela as the Director of CIMEO, Bapak Dr. Wahyudi as the Deputy Director for Program and Development, Mr. Rafael Orendekada as the Program Officer for Universitas Brawijaya. We have Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Sasmito Jati as a Vice Rector for Planning and Cooperation of Universitas Brawijaya. Bapak Profesor Dr. Bambang Supriyono MS as the Dean of Faculty of Administrative Science, and Bapak Associate Professor Andi Fefta Wijaya PhD as the Head of Public Administration Department, Hermawan MSI as the Head of Sarjana Program in Education Administration. And all of the audience, not only from Indonesia, but we also have audience from Thailand, Philippines, and also Timor-Leste. Okay, so this event will be divided into 3 sections. The first one is the opening sections. The second one is the main event. And the third and the last section is the closing section. Okay, without further ado, let's get started by we're hearing the first opening speech that will be delivered by the head of Public Administration Department of Universitas Brawijaya. To Bapak Associate Professor Andi Fefta Wijaya PhD, time is yours.
Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat pagi, Sawadi, and My Excellency Vice Rector 4, Professor Sasmito Jati, and My Excellency Dean Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Dr. Bambang Supriyono MS, and all Vice Dean in Faculty of Administrative Science, and my honorable speakers, Ibu Dr. Ethel Agnes Pecua, yes, Pecua, yeah. Director South Asian Minister of Education Organization, SIMEO, and also Dr. Hermawan MSI, Head Sarjana Program, Study Program Education of Faculty of Science, Wijaya. In this case, Prof. the host also of this activity today. I congratulate the organized this event and also student speaker Rizka Farah. Honorable all lecturers, all students, all participants, respectable all members of organizing committee from study program of educational administration in my faculty to make this event come true. You are really doing a good job today. I really proud of you, the study program of educational administration, and a well done job today. And first of all, let's pray and thank to our Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us mercies and blessing so we can attend and gather even in a good condition and happy situation. Secondly, thank you to all for being here today at this wonderful event. It is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of the Department of Public Administration, Faculty of Administrative Science, Universitas Brawijaya, in where the program of educational administration is one among 3 study programs in undergraduate level in our department. So the other the other two programs is public administration, library, and information. So we have 3 study program in S1 level or in undergraduate level. We also have a postgraduate study program in our department, that is Master of Public Administration or MPA, and also Master of Administrative Higher Education, MAHI. And let me begin by giving you warm welcome to this international joint lecture in challenge opportunity in educational cooperation initiative ASEAN. In working together with SIAMO, I really thank you to SIAMO who back up this activity and would like to give presentation, share its information. I think will be very fruitful and beneficial to all participants today. I really appreciate to the SIAMO to support this activity. And I hope we can learn from this visiting lecture today to make a better world. Well, I do not want to take too much of your time. I would like to say once more, on behalf of our Department of Public Administration, Faculty of Administrative Science, University of Brawijaya, welcome to this activity today. It is good to see so many here. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for the head of Public Administration Department, Associate Professor Andi Fefta Wijaya, PhD. And the second opening speech will be delivered by the Dean of Faculty of Administrative Science, Bapak Profesor Dr. Bambang Siprono, MS.
Terima kasih, Mas Taufik Basri. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. His Excellency Professor Sasmito Jati, Vice Rector of Planning and Partnership, Universitas Brawijaya. The Honorable Dr. Ethel Agnes Pascua from Venezuela, the Director of Southeast ASEAN Ministers of Education Organizations, SIMEO, and the team include Dr. Wahyudi from South ASEAN Minister of Education Organization, SIMEO. Honorables, Bapak Associate Professor Andi Fefta Wijaya, PhD, Head of Public Administration Department, present to Vice Dean for Academic, Bapak Yusri Abdillah, PhD, and Bapak Dr. Hermawan, MSc, the Head of Sarjanas Program in Education Administrations, popular in Indonesia, Sarjanas program, similar with undergraduate program, but Sarjana program orientation to scientific. So different with bachelor program, different with undergraduate program, with undergraduate, but scientific oriented, especially in education administration in this event. And all of participants in this great event today. First of all, I would like to send my gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, whom His compassionate and blessing are always with us, so that we can gather today in our very best conditions. I would also like to congratulate the Sarjanas program in education administration that become to the host today international guest lecture. This program is still relatively new compared to the other 9 Sarjanas program under our faculty. However, in the national scale, this program has been accredited by the National Accreditation Board and received the predicate of very good. With all that achievement by the program, several time ago, I told Pak Hermawan, as the head of the program, that it's time to move forward. It is time to start building reputation in the international level. And today, I can see that his team and him has taken steps to climb the leader of international reputations. One example is that this program has participated twice in the 3-in-1 program held by our university. In SAKS program, Pak Hermawan and his team had to compete with other program in the university in order to get funding for hosting a one-week special lecture given by one professor from foreign country and one practitioner in the field of education. And I heard that they were going to compete for the third time this year. Is it correct, Pak Hermawan? Therefore, today's event
Yes, Prof. Thank you.
is very important for the program and also for all participants that come from across Indonesia and also from Thailand, the Philippines, and Timor-Leste. We are honored with the participation of Dr. Ethel Agnes as the director of CIMIO. Her today thoughts at the same time, we are terribly sorry for the loss of her mother yesterday. However, Dr. Ethel has brought about her CIMIO team consisting of Bapak Dr. Wahyudi, present now, and the director of Deputy Director for Program of Development, and Mr. Rafael Orendey Kada as the Program Officer of Policy and Development that will share the knowledge and experience from CIMIO. I have come to learn that CIMIO is a very prestigious organization in Southeast Asia, especially in the field of education. The CIMIO Council consists of all ministers of education from ASEAN countries, including Pak Nadiem Makarim, our own Minister of Education and Culture, and Dr. Ethel here is the one of ministers. The organization with several projects in the education field. So I do hope that is the event Dr. Ethel, Bapak Wahyudi, and Mr. Rafli will share your knowledge and long experience in building collaboration with different universities and countries. We all know that international collaborations is important today. For our lecturers, it can give a chance to them to share and collaborate with their fellow lecturers across the globe. And for our students, I can be an opportunity to meet students from different countries, cultural background, and course experience. We will listen toward the student aspect regarding international collaboration from Riza Farah Filah. She is a student of the Education Administration's program who will present her friends to give some perspective from the student side. Finally, I do hope that this event does not end here. I would like to call for opportunities to collaborative between our faculty and CMU, the concrete ones. After today's event, perhaps Head of Department of Public Administration, Pak Andi Fefta, Head of Study Program of Education Administration, Pak Hermawan, the program's lecturer, Dr. Ethel team can discuss further regarding the ideas. Thank you very much. And after this, I would like to invite the Vice Rector of Planning on Collaboration, Professor Sasmito Jati, to give an opening speech and open this event formally. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. The Dean of Faculty of Administrative Science, Bapak Profesor Dr. Bambang Sukrono MS, and the last and the final opening speech will be delivered by Vice Rector for Planning and Cooperation of Universitas Brawijaya to Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Sasmito Jati. Time is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning to all of you. First of all, on behalf of our university, I would like to thank to all of you, to keynote speaker, international student, and all participant with discussion with topic challenge and opportunities in educational collaboration initiative in ASEAN. And also to all speaker, Mr. Ethel Agnes Pescu, Director of CMU, Dr. Wahyudi, Deputy Director of Program and Development, Mr. Rafael Orende Kada, Program Official for Policy and Development, and also my colleagues here, Professor Bambang Supriyono, Associate Professor Dr. Andi Fefta, also Associate Professor Dr. Hermawan. I just want to say I would like to introduce Brawijaya for all the participation that Brawijaya is one of very popular university in Indonesia, that we educated more than 70,000 of students, and also now we reach our good position in world ranking in terms of QS. By subject now, UB become ranking 200 until 351 for agroforestry, and also in terms on sociology, economic, and business subject, we have reached 500. I think this condition is a good position for us, because now our university try to become autonomous university, and our government asked to me to be 500 ranking in terms of QS. In other ranking system, maybe our position is much better. Second, this program with enhanced collaboration in terms of all possibility that we can do, it is believed would bring a very big impact to our university. And also for our student, I just want to tell you some experience of our case. That's all of you know. I'm also scientist like you. In the near future, I hope you will be scientists like me. I have a good experience, a nice experience when I be a student. Can you imagine that? I am the tropical country man, like all of you. But I have experience when I study for master course degree. I stay in Uppsala, Sweden. You know, Sweden is a country, it's near the pole. When I arrived there in February, all of you knows in February there's coldest time and everything become white. And I memorized with my mother's telling me about the history of Snow White. Everything became white. So this is, I cannot imagine that. This experience become scientists from country, people with tropical country, we can look snow almost every day. And then you can imagine that this is the coldest time. And then after 1 year stay there, I should leaving the Uppsala, Sweden. And my professor, please keep underline this. My professor said to me, at that time I not hearing. Yeah, my professor said to me to when I want to go back to my country, and I just think this very cold, and then it's not nice for me. I just want to see my parents with tropical situation or something like that. But my professor said to me, please, if you stay in your domain of job, we will meet again. I cannot imagine that. Sweden is very far away from our country. And then I just want to go back to my country. But after seven years later, at the time I'm a PhD student in Okayama University. As you know, in Japanese system of education, in every activity, they make such kind of conference, international conference like today. And then my professor also asked me to pick up the professor from abroad. I just go to Shinkansen trains, and then I open the paper. I'm surprised at that time because the name I have already known. Yeah. And I know him much. And then I pick up him in the Kansai airport. And the professor said to me, Jati, do you remember what I said 7 years ago? We will meet again. This is a good story for me. I forget it, what you say. We will meet again. Even, can you imagine that? I'm staying in Indonesia at the time, living in Indonesia, and then living in Uppsala, and then we meet in Okayama, at the time in Osaka. Yeah. So for us, if you will be a scientist, all of you will be borderless worker. There is no border between scientists and scientists. Border just the political problem. You should pass the country by passport. But if you think about scientists, there is no border. Moreover, after the pandemic era, we know the pandemic era, even we cannot face-to-face meet, but we have many experience for Zoom meetings such today. So if we think about globalization, we as scientists, you should be thinking about this program, this idea, this experience. So as student, please keep on your mind, globalization is something very important. Second, this program will enhance collaboration in terms of possibly all of the activity, and also Brawijaya University have many programs for that. Moreover, if we joining in CMEO, Now we also the member of SEARCA, and then another Southeast Asian organization, formerly our government organization. So many possibilities we can do. We have many programs like 3-in-1, double degree, joint research, and joint publication, joint curriculums, so many things we can do. So in this opportunity, I hope we can do with something better than the last. So I hope in this experience for the student, please open your mind, keep your communication between country to another country. You should be known another scientist without any border. Without any border, you can talk with Philippines, Timor-Leste, Malaysian, and also USA and other country, outside the Indonesian. So in this occasion, I just want to hope we have a very good seminar and gain valuable outcome. In this opportunity also, I just want to say thanks to the organizing committee that you already sacrificing many things to prepare this occasion. So I just want to say to all of you, Mr. Andi Fifta, Mr. Hermawan, and also Professor Bambang.
Thank you, Professor.
The last, I just want to say, to open the meeting in the name of God, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially meeting this seminar or webinar. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Profesor Smito Jati.
Thank you very much. To Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Smito Jati for the amazing speech. Okay, so after we hearing the all amazing speech from the opening speech, please turn on your camera because we will enter the photo session. To all audience, please turn on your camera because we will have a photo session. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Okay, once again, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, before we enter the main event today, I will say the theme for today's discussion. The theme is challenges and opportunity in educational collaboration initiatives. So this theme will be delivered from 3 perspectives. The first perspective will be from the head of educational administration and the lecturer's perspective that will be delivered by Bapak Dr. Hermawan MSI. And the second perspective from the student that will be delivered by Miss Rizka Farah. And the last perspective from the educational organization that will be delivered by Director of CIMEO. However, due to the loss of her family, right now, she's on the plane to her family in Philippines, I believe. So she cannot attend today's event. However, she already record the event, the material that will be played later, and we have another two people as a representative of CIMEO. The first one is Bapak Dr. Wahyudi as a Deputy Director for Program and Development, and Mr. Rafael Orenikada as a Program Officer for Policy and Development. Okay, and this main event will be moderated by the lecturer of the Public Relation Officer, Mr. Aulia Lukman Aziz, So before we go to the main event, I would like to inform you that please turn off your microphone, and you have a question to the speaker, please raise your hand by pushing the raise hand button in the Zoom application. Thank you very much. The moderator, Mr. Aulia Lukman Aziz, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Pak Taufik Akbar Al-Fajri, my colleague when I was in S1 program. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu sekalian, good morning everyone. I hope you are in your very best condition. Before I start, I would like to say hello to some people here. I can see here that there are a lot of my students. Good morning, students. How are you? Nice to see you here. Thank you very much for joining the event today. And then we also have, okay, I recognize some names here. Ibu Atika Shamsi. Okay, hello Ibu Atika. Finally we meet here. Pak Carlos Barreto. Good morning, sir. Pak Farid Munfaati from UIN. We also have Ibu Farida Nurani. Oh, this is the head of library science program from our faculty. Thank you, Ibu Farida, for joining us. And then we have Pak Hairuddin, Pak Jamaluddin, Pak Lukman Zaini. He's my neighbor, the owner of Krepet Tempe Bunur. Nah, ini promosi gratis, Pak Lukman. And then we have Pak Ibu Made Susilawati from Nusa Tenggara, East Nusa Tenggara. Pak Saiful Rahman, my colleague in FIA. And then we also have Ibu Siti Mariam from Mataram. Yeah, good morning, Ibu. Pak Suyitno. And then we also have Pak Panji Dioranto. He's the special staff for the Vice Rector of Planning and Cooperation. Yeah, thank you, Pak Panji, for joining us today. And I would like to say hello to Dr. Nathanan Songmark from Taksin University, Thailand. Thank you, Pak. And Dr. Christina Sayoto from the Philippines. And many other guests that I cannot mention one by one. Thank you very much for joining our discussion today. Well, like Pak Taufik Akbar has said, that our topic today is challenges and opportunities in educational collaboration initiatives in ASEAN. So if we talk about collaboration, this is actually something, the word that I like, collaboration, kolaborasi. Collaboration means, according to me, we acknowledge our strengths to other people, and at the same time, we acknowledge our weaknesses to other people. By doing that, we can offer something to other people using our strengths to help them to solve their problems. But at the same time, we also ask their help to help us to close the gap from our weaknesses. I think that is what is the definition of collaboration according to me. So collaboration is a very beautiful thing to do. What I talk about is in the level of individual, but in the level of organization like university or faculty or department or study program, it will be, of course, it will be a little bit more difficult. But if we can do that, then we will go forward together. Am I correct? Yeah. So we all agree, I believe we all agree that collaboration is something that we have to do. And like Prof. Sasmito Jati has mentioned that we are in the era of globalization. Yeah, we need other people. We cannot stand alone like the Liverpool theme song. Yeah, we're not alone, something like that, I forget. But of course, behind the goal of collaboration, there will be challenges and opportunities. That is what we will discuss together today. And we have some great speakers today. First of all, we have Dr. Ethel Agnes Pascua Valenzuela, the director of CIMEO Secretariat, which is, the office is in Bangkok, Thailand. But unfortunately, she cannot attend because yesterday she received news that her mother has passed away. So she has to fly back to Manila today, but she has recorded some material for us that will be played by the Simeo team. And we have Pak Dr. Wahyudi as the Deputy Director for Program and Development of Simeo, and Mr. Rafael Kada as the Program Officer for Policy and Development. But I would like to read you a short biography of Dr. Ethel. So Dr. Ethel Agnes Pascua Valenzuela is the Director of the Simeo Secretariat, which serves as the executive arm of the Simeo Council of Ministers from 11 member economies that make up Simeo. Dr. Ethel is the 18th director of Simeo Secretariat and the first woman director since its establishment in 1965. So it's a very great accomplishment. When the pandemic broke in, she has introduced a wide range of COVID-19 responses of the organization, including the development and rolling of the Simeo webinar series, Simeo Cares, and Simeo Border Schools project, aligning its actions to the UNESCO Global Education Coalition for COVID-19 response. She often took the lead in the implementation of regional projects of Simeo as a thought leader. And Dr. Ethel is also a passionate educator. She serves as a professorial lecturer at the University of the Philippines, Dillman College of Education. And she also taught at DLSU Taft Graduate School and served as also the first College of Education chairperson at De La Salle, Lipa, the Philippines. So we would be glad to see her, but perhaps we will invite her in the next agenda so that she can meet with all of us and discuss together the issues of education. And we have the next speaker is my supervisor, Pak Dr. Hermawan. He is the head of Sarjana's program in education administration, and he also served as the head. What do you call that, Pak? The head of IAPA, Indonesian what is that? Indonesian Association on Public Administration. Sorry, IAPA for Jawa Timur Province, and also the coordinator for cooperation in IAPA Jakarta, the central IAPA, right, Pak Hermawan? Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
And we also have speaker from the side of student. Her name is Rizka Farafila. She was born in Jakarta. She studied in SMAN 5 Jakarta, and she now registered as the student of Education Administration Program since 2018. In 2020, she became the semi-finalist in National Business Plan Competition by BEF, and the third winner of Ethos Innovation Idea Youth Inspiration Camp. And also she belongs to top 5 social movement project at ethos.id. And in 2020, she became the secretary of the Dewan Perwakilan Mahasiswa. It's like a senate, a student senate at our faculty, and also the staff for research and scientific papers at UB. And I heard that today she is running for the student senate at university. So hope you are successful, Rizka. And all right, so those are the 3 speakers that we have today. And I would like to give the first chance to Bapak Dr. Hermawan MSI as the head of Education Administration Program. Perhaps Pak Hermawan will shed us some light. What is the meaning of collaboration from the perspective of your study program? Time is yours, Pak Hermawan, for the next 30 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aulia, who have asked for preparing this event. maybe a month ago, we starting preparation for this program. Thank you for the opportunity. Our Excellency Vice Rector 4, Excellency our Dean, Faculty of Administrative Science, also here. Our Excellency Prof. Andi Vepta, Head of our department. The Honorable Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, also all my students. Okay, allow me to deliver short material relating to our study program, internationalization plan. I would like to talk about regional collaboration for the studies, this study program, how to short way or method to improve educational program in international level. Okay, it is about me. My name is Hermawan. I know today as Head of Educational Administration, Educational Administration, and I'm here because, yes, I love to give presentation in iVISID. This iVISID mean International Visiting Scholar in Education. Hopefully this program will be held or open annually. This is the first program, so I'm very happy and honored because the first iVISID attended by CMO, and I think it is a good organization, or I think it is we will open best opportunity because of CMO. It is related to our vision and mission to be how to get good reputation in Asian level. Okay. Why internationalization, regardless the global consequences, whether it is negative or positive about internationalization in education, recently the issue of internationalization is a concern for university, also Brawijaya University, especially in improving educational resource, all resource. And the demand for universities to be able to adjust the world trend also, and competition now becoming increasingly important. We realize that today so many campus rank open their information about, for example, about the rank of certain university in Asia or in national level. So the idea of the iVISID program aim to build innovation in the field of educational administration, and with the hope that it will have a good impact on the internationalization of the university, especially for improving the quality of our study program itself. We realize because the quality of graduate produced now does not only have to meet world-class workforce need, as our ministry mentioned, when viewed it in the labor market view, but the quality of science, technology, information, and research, also international publication, should also be world-class. And okay, what about Universitas Brawijaya reputation achievement indicator? This is only maybe a simple example. Yes, so many programs done by the University of Brawijaya, but as I know, there is a target or position which the Brawijaya University is concerned about and will realize in the next years according to the time stage. For example, to be ranked 500 in the key areas, world fashion, rank less than 300 in the key areas world fashion in 2034, for example, and then rank less than 1,000 in Webometric rating. Also have international student ratio by 15% in 2024. Hopefully our study program also have foreign student in the next year or in the following this university target. Okay, what about our faculty of Administrative Science? This faculty also have support dialogue and exchange between another higher education institution around the world in international level. There have been several activities, as you can read here. For example, we open collaboration with beberapa University of Thailand, University of Utara Malaysia, and then with Japan, Australia, Singapore, Australia, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and also China, and also from certain countries in Europe, also in the United States, with Kentucky University and some other university in foreign countries. Okay, but although we have so many programs, there are still questions that need to be answered and anticipated, because accelerated internationalization for the study program, I think, is not easy. So in my mind, I have a big problem. For example, how can this program be successful and to be continuous in long term, and then what focus we need to prepare? Still questionable for me. Maybe CMO can answer this question. And then how is the campus atmosphere to support internationalization? Also about what the standard student service, international standard for student service, for example, and also what activities are most relevant for a new institution like us. Okay, according to us, we have opinion that there are three pillars of internationalization of higher education. The first is the mobility program. It is about maybe how to support mobility of student, and then lecturer, or maybe using exchange of teaching staff, and etc. And then the second is about partnership. It is include bilateral, multilateral, and also strategic joint research, and many more collaboration. And the third is curriculum development. Actually, this iVISID still related to our periodical curriculum evaluation based on international perspective. And then curriculum, it is covering knowledge, skill, and attitude also, including course composition, learning process, and also the subject of studies for our student. Also maybe reference literatures to support our curriculum, and then also related to international accreditation. And what about our plan? Based on our strategic plan, here the program we hope to implement and follow up in the next years. For example, in the first period, 2017, our program is international touch. We try to implement guest lecture, international publication, student internship, also CMO program, follow CMO program, and also some internal conference or workforce and etc. And then after that, 2022, we try to develop international exposure. For example, international accreditation, or to be member or associate of member of UNKA. Also partnership with regional campus and educational-based NGO. Also visiting professor program. Also, yes, of course, international accreditation as well. And then we also try in 2028 obtaining an international recognition. We try to open joint degree or double degree in this program. And hopefully we can maybe have a lecturer from foreign countries, maybe from CMO to be our lecturer here, and also have a student from foreign countries. I think we optimistic because we have so many resources, but we are fully aware that it takes more effort, and I think it's not easy because according to our SWOT analysis, we still have strength, weaknesses, opportunity, also threat. For example, okay, we are optimistic because our university capacity, Brawijaya University is the 5th biggest university in Indonesia. I think this university have a lot of resource, also funding, to support the collaboration in Asia, in Southeast Asia. Also, because Brawijaya University vision to become a global class university, so I think it's easy for us to arrange international collaboration proposal and then take some funding from our university, our campus. They are so helpful, I think, because I think it is have will contribute for university vision, and also opportunities. It is international network. I think right now so many international cooperation have been formed by all institutions in Brawijaya University. We also have international office to support collaboration, but we still have weaknesses. Maybe I think, I don't know, Mas Fazri or Mas Lukman agree or not with me. Our weakness is still in communication, in how to correspond with foreign people. Now, Mr. Lukman, Mr. Aulia Lukman, very helpful for us because he very happy to speak in English and also correspondent in English. And okay, we mean the problem of English, yes, I think, because some of our students still hesitate or maybe inhibition to speak in English. So maybe this study program will open bilingual English to deliver lecturer or deliver class material. And I think, but we still have optimistic because some of our lecturer from overseas graduated, and we also learn every day about English. Because English is, I think, is not only one international communication way, but because still many international language we must mastering. For example, French, or maybe Arabic and etc. Okay, so for the reason we have the initiative to develop good collaboration and cooperation with all parties, and we hope that CMO can be our partner in supporting the development of our study program at the ASEAN level. And further, we still need more help and information from CMO. I think CMO is Asian most prominent organization, yeah, because obviously under ASEAN, CMO is education ministry of ASEAN countries. I think it is the best organization for us. Okay, thank you very much. That's all, and maybe we will discuss next. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Lukman, I will the time back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Hermawan, for your insight. So some point that I may taken is that if we talk about international collaboration, so some questions must be addressed to ourselves before we conduct the collaboration, such as the focus, what is the focus of the activity, the focus of the collaboration, and then what are the activities, and also how we build an international atmosphere in our institution. I think this is not only for higher education, but also for at all levels of education, including
Yes, right. Yes, right.
Right. Yes, junior high school and also senior high school. And Pak Hermawan suggests the three pillars of international collaboration, that is the mobility program, partnership, and curriculum development. But he also mentions that we need to analyze or evaluate ourselves before we take any action by using the SWOT diagram.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Pak Hermawan. And I would like to remind to all of the participants that if you have any questions, you can directly write in the chat box, and I will take note and I will try to read it at the question and answer session. Ya, ada pertanyaan silakan disampaikan di kotak chat. Ya, nanti saya akan bacakan di sesi tanya jawab. And also for your information, my friend Taufik Akbar Al-Fajri is also help you to translate what the speakers say from English to Indonesia, so that you don't leave behind, ya, by whatever the speaker say. Jadi nanti ada penerjemahnya ini ya, Pak Taufik. Terima kasih sudah menerjemahkan di kolom chat. Jadi silakan Bapak Ibu supaya tidak tertinggal informasi sedikit pun dari narasumber. Silakan juga menyimak di kolom chat, ada terjemahan dari Pak Taufik Akbar Al-Fajri. Alright. So moving on to our next speaker, that is from the side of the student, by Rizka Farafila. Rizka, are you here?
Yes, ready, Mr. Lukman.
Okay, nice. Okay, let me yeah, okay. Rizka, I will share your PowerPoint ya.
Ya.
Ini jarang-jarang ini ya dosen yang share screen mahasiswa. Biasanya mahasiswa yang share screen dosen ya. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lukman. Can you hear me, Mr.?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
30 minutes.
Yes, okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you all participants and the honorable all speaker, Dr. Eto and Dr. Hermawan. And I'm honored to participate in today's discussion, so-called I prepared the PowerPoint. Can you see my presentation, Mr.? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, clear.
Okay. Okay, today I will bring a topic with the title of the importance of higher education collaboration for students. Okay, next, Mr. Okay. We are currently in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is a new virus and newly discovered infectious disease, which first occurred in Wuhan, China in December 2019. To prevent and anticipate the spread of this virus, educational institution issues policies related to lectures by ensuring Apple implement alternatives online learning. Online lectures have begun to be applied in various campuses in Indonesia, including in Brawijaya of University. In March 2020, UB has issued a policy that lectures be conducted online starting March 13, 2020 until a certain time limit. This is done to follow up the circular from the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic Indonesia, number 3 of 2020 concerning the prevention of coronavirus disease. Okay, until now, COVID-19 in Indonesia is still not over. Every day, the number of patients infected with COVID-19 continues to grow because it has an impact in all sectors. All parties must play a role in handling COVID-19, as well as the Ministry of Education and Culture. Nah, the Ministry of Education and Culture continues to invite universities to jointly make innovation and participate in the industrial world. Apart from helping in the health sector, universities also play a role in the recovery of the national economy. Okay, next, Mr. Yes, this is a problem in the application of technology in education. First, okay, of course. The first, in a short and fast time, learning activities like this do not have careful planning. The facts show that these online learning methods has minimal transfer of knowledge that is truly understood and practiced, and tends to impose tasks on both students and educators in order to keep the distance learning or PJJ activity running. Various distance learning methodologies are used. Learning tools such as learning, Zoom, YouTube, Google Classroom, and WhatsApp group are used. Many students also experience mental unpreparedness because they are used to meeting friends at first. However, due to the system that requires it to be at home, direct social interaction is hampered. Change in learning patterns in the search for information and knowledge source that were originally sourced from reading books are now switching through the internet. The impact of the existence of COVID-19 is of course complained of by students for several reasons, including such as online lecture time that is not accordance with the proper lecture schedule, minimal explanation from lectures, and finally, they have difficulties related to practicum course. This is improvement in the application of technology in education. First, in terms of learning methodology, such as adequate explanation of material, for example, in the form of videos. There are assignments that are proportional to sufficient time. It is hoped that the use of WhatsApp group will be more widely used because it is not so big a quota. And finally, our hope is that students get clear instruction and accompanied by example given by the lecturer is in carrying out the assignment given by the lecturer. And second, in terms of assessment, lectures are expected to be fair and appreciate the effort of their student. And finally, third, in terms of assistance, such as a provision of warnings or assistance in the form of quotas during this long distance lecture period. Okay, next. So that from this expectation, we students need collaboration between CMEO member in improving the quality of education in line with technological development. In addition, there are some things that are expected from us as a student, including scholarship, equitable education and industry, educational transformation. Scholarship, with the collaboration between countries, it is hoped that it will be able to provide a lot of information and create many scholarship as a result of this collaboration. And equitable education, equal distribution of education can also be achieved if there is a collaboration. The local government can get help from other countries or even from local foreign companies. And education and industry. Education and industry are closely related as explained earlier. Collaboration can create cooperation in innovation and technology. And finally, educational transformation. Educational transformation that creates a globally oriented long life learner. Okay, next, Mr. Okay, I would like to say my perspective as a student in education administration of Faculty of Administration Science, Brawijaya of University. First, CMEO members countries need to collaborate to improve education so that education in Indonesia can get and provide the same output as other countries. They are more advanced or better, can exchange strategic plans and curriculum comparison. Second, there needs to be community involvement, especially students, in providing aspiration and innovation and a forum for exchanging information between organization on campus and organization on campus of other countries. And third, cut bureaucracy in the process of corporation. Given the bureaucratic process to achieve effectiveness and time efficiency. Fourth, can be expected to exchange facilities and infrastructure as well as research between countries. They are all by mutual agreement. Next, Mr. Okay, hopefully the condition of education in Indonesia will immediately improve so that we are able to return to education effectively and optimal. That's all delivered from me. Thank you, Mr. and thank you all participants.
Okay, thank you very much, Rizka, for your presentation. And I may highlight some of the expectation from the side of the students from the collaboration between countries and especially between the CMEO country members that the countries are expected to collaborate in the field of education, and there should be some community involvement, and she expects to cut bureaucracy in order to build some collaboration between countries. And also she hopes to have a kind of exchange of facilities and infrastructure and also resources. Thank you very much for your recommendation, Rizka. And now we move on to the speakers from the CIMEO, and the presentation will be led by Pak Dr. Wahyudi. Yeah, and but before Pak Wahyudi present the material, I think we will watch a video recorded specially for us by Dr. Ethel Agnes Pascua Valenzuela, and it will be played by our CIMEO team, the third member of CIMEO, Dr. Chan Mon. Hello, Dr. Chan. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, time is yours for Bapak Dr. Wahyudi and Mr. Rafikada and Dr. Chan Mon.
Your Excellencies, distinguished educators from Universitas Brawijaya, fellow administrators, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very great day to everyone from all of us here at the CIMEO Secretariat in Bangkok, Thailand.
Yes, I saw it.
I am very honored and pleased to be part of this iVISID International Visiting Scholar in 2021 and offer my reflections to the questions and discussions on challenges and opportunities for educational cooperation and educational administration during and post-COVID era. All of us experience a sudden shift to borderless classroom, communities in lockdown, and international educators have to refrain from physical academic mobility and exchanges. Many universities adopted new policies for teaching and learning, academic mobility, and pursued virtual exchange. Since last year, we face an invisible enemy that threatened our very existence. Prior to the school lockdowns, students from Southeast Asia heading abroad account for 70%, mostly going to Australia, USA, UK, and Japan, with only 10% of outbound students opting to study within Southeast Asia. The UAS data shows that in Southeast Asia, Vietnam topped the list with the total number of outbound students globally, totaling 94,662, or 4.1% of students enrolled in tertiary education. But when 2020 pandemic started, hopes were high that the increasing trend will continue as well. But as we have witnessed, it was impossible to continue with international mobility programs and cooperation for students due to this pandemic and lockdown. This in turn begged the question, what happens to our educational cooperation? What happens to our community of international educators when it is not possible to travel? With international travel still on hold, there is a severe restrictions and there is no end in sight up to this time after a year of pandemic. So how can we best position ourselves as members of the international community and as we pursue academic cooperation and academic mobility? ASEAN is home to 10% of the world's youth, with 20 million students and over 7,000 universities. Leading destinations for ASEAN students heading abroad are Australia, the US, the UK, and Japan. Top 5 countries of destinations for outbound students from ASEAN member states 2017 included Australia as the top country for being the destination of outbound students in 2017, with 64,647 students according to the list. Australia, United States of America, United Kingdom, Japan, and Malaysia. Top 3 students with outbound students in 2018 included Vietnam, nearly 100,000 students. Malaysia, nearly 64,000 students. Indonesia, above 47,000 students. It can be seen that among the desired destinations, UK, USA, and Australia remain top 3 across all countries in Southeast Asia. The chart has shown that numbers of outbound students in ASEAN region in 2018 in comparison with students intra-regional. The number of outbound students to outside the region is as much higher than intra-region. The ASEAN International Mobility for Students Program, or AIMS, spearheaded by Simi Rahed, is one model of educational cooperation. It is collaborative, it is multilateral, and it is a regional flagship model in mobility initiative that involves the participation of governments and universities in an effort to enhance mobility for the region of Asia. Currently, it includes 9 member countries of ASEAN and 78 nominated universities that offer exchange opportunities to undergraduate students across 10 academic disciplines. Since 2010, approximately 5,000 students have enhanced their education through this educational cooperation and exchange. They have experienced living and studying abroad, and students have developed a better regional understanding, intense cooperation, and friendship among each other. In SEMIO, we have also introduced this educational cooperation between and among countries in Southeast Asia. One is the C-TVET Academic Mobility and Student Exchange Program, which came from a resolution from the High Officials Meeting in 2017 in Malaysia. The CTVET aims to improve global competitiveness, enhance the skills of students, and make them more employable. The program has started since 2018, and Dr. Wayudi will be discussing some updates on the CTVET experience. Currently, there are a total of 1,143 students exchanged from 2018 up to present. Another model for international cooperation between and among Southeast Asian countries is the C-Teacher Student Exchange Program, which is actually a mobility program with the aim to provide opportunity for pre-service student teachers in Southeast Asia to do their practicum or teaching experiences for 1 month in another country. The total number of students who have participated doubled since the establishment in 2016. Mr. Rafael Cada will explain further the C-Teacher program after my presentation. What have been recommended on educational cooperation? What are the key things that we should do? From the CIMEO UNESCO Experts Meeting on Harmonization of Higher Education and Enhancing Higher Education Qualifications in Southeast Asia, hosted by CIMEO Secretariat and CIMEO Red Track Vietnam, we talk about enhancing educational cooperation to promote the credit transfer. This should be established to enhance student mobility across all the region. There should be more awareness raising and capacity building of stakeholders on education harmonization, and this should be executed by universities in both national and regional level. Southeast Asian countries should also be prepared to ratify the Asia-Pacific Convention on the Recognition of Qualifications in Higher Education. Educational cooperation to respect the academic credit of one another is crucial. National Information Center should also be established by Southeast Asian countries to provide appropriate resources and information for total human resource development. What are the benefits of educational cooperation despite all of the challenges? There are also opportunities. Well, it will provide significant decrease of access to education and career across the border of international youth. It will be also expanding intellectual infrastructure for the developing nations that are member of CIMEO. Should also increase globalization awareness and international collaboration of teachers and students. In a way, educational cooperation will help, just like Big Brother and Small Sister model, with bigger institutions helping the small ones and strengthening the capacities of small institutions in this regard. Here are some policy recommendations that we can do to promote better educational cooperation. First is to really look at quality in universities. You can partner with other universities if you have standards that should be strengthened. There should be guidelines and mechanisms to put in place for institutions to be accountable for their educational programs that will be shared to other universities and countries. And third is the cultural capacities of education exporting institutions. This should be a concern, and we should have more engaged discussions, especially for emerging nations and those in diverse culture. For us in CIMEO, we have decided to go online and launch the CIMEO lecture series. So some of the universities in the region have joined us and have featured innovative online solutions that are more practical and replicable, which we streamed in this video. We were able to reach more than 500,000 learners, not just in Southeast Asia, but also beyond. We transformed the usual face-to-face mentoring to the online platforms featuring faculty members from all over our network and even beyond. This is an exponential increase in reach compared to the 2,295 participants who usually take our traditional face-to-face programs from 2016 to 2019. The CIMEO lecture series, we were able to expand the horizons of teachers from traditional brick-to-mortar classroom to a global stage. We have reinvented the concept, and instead merely capturing lectures and videos, we made sure that lectures are short, timely, and extremely useful. On the policy side, the high officials of CIMEO talked about the challenges from the COVID era or the pandemic. And thus, they have decided to share online resources, online interventions. So during the 9th Annual Forum of the High Officials of Basic Education of CIMEO member countries and associate members, the high officials stress the positive gains of cautiously reopening and rehabilitating schools that will outweigh the consequences of prolonged school closure. We should be able to reach out to the marginalized, the underprivileged, who are more vulnerable. Thus, educational cooperation should be strengthened to help those underprivileged and those who do not have access to virtual classrooms. Another big event and policies from CIMEO's side is the meeting of ministers, which we call as the CIMEO Ministerial Policy Forum. And in such forum, they highlighted the silver linings during the pandemic, that the pandemic should give us ways to transform education towards a new and better normal. While there is no silver bullet or solution to address all concerns in Southeast Asia, there is one thing clear, that going virtual is the way to go. And we need to foster policies to support this new learning environment to make all this possible. So I think this is my sharing. And as I have promised, there will be more discussions about our educational cooperation in Southeast Asia using the two models of C-Teacher and CityVet. And my colleagues from the Secretariat will handle this discussion. Thank you very much for your attention, and be sure to subscribe to our social media channels for more information on CIMEO Secretariat's programs and initiatives. Have a good day, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Pak Wahyudi, you might proceed with your presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mas Lukman. Honorable Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Sasmito Jati, Vice Rector of for Planning and Corporations, University of Brawijaya. Honorable Bapak Profesor Dr. Bambang Supriyono, the Dean, Associate Professor Andi Fefta Vijaya, Head of Public Administration Departments, and also Bapak Hindarman, and the Head of Sarjana, the main host. Also, my beloved students, so greeting from Bangkok. To follow up Dr. Ekel's presentations, I would like to share with you on the city fact. Mas Lukman, can you see my presentations?
Yes, sir, very clearly.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yes, so first of all, I would like to provide a glimpse of CMU, because some of you may be quite new. What is CMU actually? Is it university? No. Indeed, we are intergovernmental organizations consisted of 11 Ministry of Education from CMU member countries to promote regional cooperation in education, science, and cultures. Our visions to enhance regional understanding and cooperations in education, science, and cultures for a better quality of life in Southeast Asia. Here we are consist of 11 member countries, ASEAN plus Timor-Leste. We have 8 associate member countries, Australia, Canada, France, New Zealand, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, and UK. And we have 6 affiliate members. Our organization structures, CMU councils, head by presidents, currently Dr. Muhammad Rasi bin Sidins, Senior Minister of Education Malaysia, as our council presidents. We at Bangkok serve as CMU Secretariat, and we are home of 26 CMU regional centers and 1 networks. So Pak Lukman, you are lucky. You have many centers to collaborate. Okay. So it is a very appropriate forum.
Thank you.
We have, yes, this is our regional center focused on educational developments. The majority, as you learned, you know, we are very great in education. We have 8 regional center and network focused on science. Okay? And for cultures, we have 2 semi-regional centers, 1 in Myanmar and 1 in Thailand. So we learned from previous presentation by Pak Hendarman, by our student Pak Farah, and also by our director, Dr. Hector. This is the situation in our regions, you know. For the driver of change, the emerging issue and trend, and also challenges and opportunity. Why are we here? We are here now. As Pak Hendarman said, we need to collaborate. Yeah. By working together, we can reach more destinations. Maybe you may remember that, you know, if you prefer working alone, well, you can do faster, but believe me, you will get very, you know, easy tired and cannot reach further goals. Okay? And as mentioned by Mbak Farah also, we are still in the midst of a COVID-19 pandemic. This has become what they call 3 elements. COVID-19 can be the driver of change, can become the emerging issue, as well as can become the challenge and opportunities. And we learn from our directors, how can we take the challenges to become the good opportunities to, you know, strengthen our networks, to collaborate together, to still move forward. We cannot just, you know, give up because of the COVID-19. Instead, we can do better to serve our regions. Okay. So, back to 2014, this is our first strategic dialogue for education ministers For your information, every 2 years now, our ministry has summit. Okay, and this year will be in June, held in Singapore. Okay, so on 30 September 2014 in Lao PDR, we have our very first strategic dialogue for our education ministers. And during the meetings, we formulated our 7 priority area CMO education agenda. So the first one, focus on early childhood care education, PAUD nih, pendidikan usia dini Bapak. Second one, addressing the barrier into inclusions. The third one, resiliency in the face of emergency. For example, right now we are in the midst of pandemics. How can we, respond to the situations? And I will focus on later on the priority area number 4, promoting technical and vocational educations and training, or TVET. Later, Mr. Rafael Kada will talking more on priority number 5, what is our programs in the mobility, student mobility. And we also have another 2 priority area on higher education and also adopting 21st century curriculum. Now I'd like to move on the priority number 4 on TVETs. What do we have, in response to promote technical and vocational education and trainings? We have 2 regional centers focused on TVET. First ones, the new ones, CMU TED, Center for Technical Education, located in Cambodia, and the other ones we call CMU Voctex, Vocational and Technical Education, based in Brunei Darussalam. These centers focusing on TVET matters. But since TVET is cross-cutting issue, other CMU centers also join hands to improve TVET education. So mostly all centers can help the 2 TVET centers to promote the program. Our CTVET programs, so it is become get more attentions. We have our first high official meeting on CTVETs. Okay, in 2015, held in Chiang Mai, Thailand. We have the team working together toward harmonizations and internationalizations. So very fit with our topic today. This is the affirmation from the TVET Helpers meeting. First, TVET has a fundamental role in preparing our students, our labor force in our regions, and that the industry is important driver of economic growth. We cannot deny this one. Secondly, there is a need for continuous and strategic discussions to help direct regional operations on TVET in Southeast Asia with the kind of forum. And the third one, harmonization and internationalization of TVET is vital key to competency development and also for quality improvement in our regions. So this is we have high official meeting for the general and this for TVET only. Okay. There are 2 focus area for the TVET program. The first one is harmonization and standardization, as mentioned by our directors, including quality assurance, qualification frameworks, curriculum, and also industry practice. And okay, so we need a kind of systematic mutual recognition and credit transfers. The second one, this is what we have now, internationalization of TVET institutions and mobility of TVET teacher and students. And I do believe, like University of Brawijaya, actually, you are supposed to host our summit last year, but then the COVID-19 pandemic boom come and we have to postpone. But luckily, we have our forum today. So in the second program, we have CTVET networks, teacher and student exchange. I will share later, and also networking and collaborative activity, including joint research. We already have a total of 8 country level workshop on CTFET harmonization and mobility in 2015 and 16, and later on we execute this one. Okay, we develop and create CTFET consortium networks, function as platform for teaching partnership for student mobility, and we have more than 300 CTFET institutions in our regions as teachers. Now, in more detail, what we have done for our program on TFETs. Okay, so the participating institutions and students are TFET colleges, polytechnic, community college, and University of Technology. I believe University of Brawijaya also eligible for this program because you have many engineering, civil, agriculture, food technology. So you eligible to join this program. That's why you are as a member of our CTFET networks. Okay. So students should study in diploma, higher diploma, or TFET bachelors in engineering, IT, civil engineering, agriculture, food technology, business, hospitality and tourism, health science, and multimedia. And we can also open other subjects. Okay. So this is the picture of our CTFET student exchange program. Okay. Just to share briefly with you the mechanisms, we Semi-Secretariat serve as organize semi-polytechnic network meetings for seeking commitment from institutions, to match you with your partners. Okay, and then we have a collective letter of agreements signed by all institutions at the meeting or by email. Okay. So we agree that internship exchange, student exchange should be recognized as credit. So students who join with the program, they have to earn the credits. Okay. We as a Secretariat take a role as the facilitate the implementation process, including coordinations before we send students, mapping students, how to match a student from which university to what university. We conducted online meeting with related institutions, providing guidelines. Also conduct online orientations before the students, take in the internship or exchange. Also, we conduct evaluation and report and issue the certificate as well. And on your set, if you join, so the institution should send and receive students in reciprocal way. Okay? How many students will you send to the other students, and how many students you can accommodate in your program. Okay? So so far we have a maximum 30 days of exchange periods, because we consider about the visa issue. You need to have a visa if you have program more than 1 month. And also it is cost sharing among institutions, amongst the parents of students as well. Okay. That's a glimpse of mechanism of CTFETs. So this is first send the letter of agreement, finding the partner, submitting list of student and partners mail. This is our part. We help you. Okay. And then conduct online student interview before we send your student. Before you send your students to the partner institutions. Okay. And then and so on and so off. And then we come to at the end. How do we evaluate? How do we issue the certificate and so on? So this one close coordination with GMO, and this one close coordination among institutions through international affair office. I learned, from each faculty, you have the international affair office. So this is like program structures for 1 month to 3 months programs. Okay, this is the ongoing programs, what we do with monitoring, okay, and how do students report. Okay, the students need to do self-report by creating the blog. Okay, we have the system already, and the certificates we come from the receiving institutions, from your own institution, and from the industry, and also from our set, from CMU. And for the cost sharing agreements, of course, the cost should be shouldered by the parents for passport, air ticket, visa. But if you have a kind of what do you call it, scheme to subsidize students, it's up to you. Okay. And for the receiving institutions, you should have provide accommodation, dormitory for the student come to your university. Also, hospitality for airport transfers during pickup and when they return to their home. And also tuition fee and student activity expenses should be shouldered by you if you become the receiving institutions. Okay. This is the CityFed program milestone from 2015-2023. Dr. Ed already shared a little bit about this ones. Okay. From 2015-16, a kind of formulations, what is our networks, how we work together, and so on. And the execution we started 2017 up to 2019 before we hit by the COVID-19. Okay. So far, we have Dr. Ed already said this once, already updated SP. And what do we got, how is our program so far? This is the feedback we get from the industry, from our students, and also from coordinating teachers, lecturers. When I mean the teacher here is the lecturers in university or polytechnic. So from the industry, we got very positive response. So they mentioned that the quality work of our students who did the internships, around 80 to 90% is advanced and proficient category. So they are happy with our students. That's a good signs. Also, again, from 80 to 90%, they are satisfied with our student performance. Okay, so closely related to the previous one. Excellence and very good. Yeah, only one, so very minor fires. Okay. Also, this one, what kind of skill that performed by our students in view from the industry. So, ability to learn and apply knowledge, English skill writing and reading, academic knowledge skill, and problem solving. So we have here advanced and proficiency dominates the feedback from the industry. How about from student voice? As you may see here in the pictures, they are very happy and they confess that they achieve their learning goal, during the internship. Okay, this is feedback from our 218 students. So they learn about the cultural differences, and they said that they have become more mature and more confident, and also improve their communication skills during the internship program. How about from our institutions in our TCAT networks? Okay. So they said that the program has met the expectations. This is the feedback from 79 coordinators. So around 80. So they mostly agree and likely agree that the program has met the expectations. So we achieve our goal of the program. The program has improved the internationalization of their institutions. Okay, so 16 most agree, 18 likely agree, and 1 just say fair. Okay, meaning that almost 95% our institutions conference, they improve their internationalization of their institutions. So that's like a brief summary of our programs, and we do hope the pandemic will be shut too soon, so that we can embark against for our certificate exchange. So before ending my presentations, please mark your calendar and join us at our Semi Congress 2021. I believe the host already played the video. Okay, please visit our website, and this is free. I would like to encourage all our beloved students, please join our Congress next month on 28 to 29 April. It is free again, and will be virtual. Thank you very much, and I would like to invite Mr. Rafi to share with you about the other programs on C-Teacher. Good, Rafi?
Thank you very much, Dr. Wayudi, and a pleasant morning to all the organizers, to the staff, and to the students who are joining us in this learning event. I'm Rafi, and I shall be discussing the C-Teacher Academic Mobility Program. So Dr. Ethel has introduced two initiatives from CIMIO. The first one was discussed by Dr. Wayudi. So allow me to present the C-Teacher Academic Mobility Program. This is this complements the presentation of Dr. Hermawan earlier about the first pillar. He presented the three pillars, but the first pillar on mobility program. And this is a sample of the mobility program that CIMIO has launched since 2015. So let me just full screen this one. Okay. So actually, this is the C-Teacher program is part of the CIMIO 7 priorities. So Dr. Wayudi discussed earlier that CTVET was actually part of the 7 priority area, particularly priority 4, promoting technical and vocational education and training. But for C-Teacher in Southeast Asia, it cuts across 3 priorities, and it includes Priority 5, which is reforming teacher education and making teaching profession a first choice. Priority 6, harmonizing higher education and research. And number 7, adopting a 21st century curriculum. So what is C-Teacher? So basically, C-Teacher provides opportunity for pre-service student teachers among universities in Southeast Asia to do their practicum for 1 month in schools in other countries in Southeast Asia. So the idea is that the pre-service student teachers will be exchanged with partner universities. So in the past, universities from Indonesia, from Vietnam, from the Philippines, and Thailand actively participated. And later I will show you the numbers. But they had the opportunity to really be experiencing firsthand how it is like to teach in other schools in other countries, in our neighbor countries. So this program was successful in the last few years, and this is because the C-Teacher actually stands for the Southeast Asia Teacher Network, and it aims for the exchange of pre-service teachers for practicum. So we started in 2015 with 11 universities. In 2016, we started to expand. In 2017, more higher education institutions joined the C-Teacher program, and we expanded it in 2018. And in 2019, we have the C-Teacher for Development. In 2020 is a different story because we had the COVID-19 pandemic. And later on, I will show in my presentation the current initiatives of CIMIO as regards C-Teacher. So C-Teacher allows the pre-service student teachers to gain a broader regional and world view, because participants of this program, the student teachers are actually, you will see in the first photo on the upper left, an Indonesian student teacher is deployed in the Philippines, I think. And then on the second one, it it exposes future teachers to diverse teaching and learning situations and opportunities, and the value of flexibility. So, and then it enables pre-service student teachers to develop their teaching skills and pedagogy, and it encourages the pre-service teachers to practice their English skills. So you will see that they are heavily involved in a 4-week out of the country teaching experience. And I think that is the most appreciated aspect of this program. That to date, we have reached 2,295 as presented by Dr. Ethel in her presentation. So what are the stages? How do we do the C-teacher pre-service student-teacher exchange? So actually there are 4 stages. So it involves, first would be the orientation and class observation. So this one is prior to actually teaching in the university. The first step is all the participants, all the student teachers will be deployed. So prior to this, there's a pre-stage process here because Dr. Wayudi has walked us through in the CTVET program, and the C-teacher follows a similar approach. There's a lot of pre-work in matching the students with one university with the other. So the idea is if 5 Indonesian students will be deployed in, say, in Thai universities, this Indonesian school must be able to also accept a corresponding 5 Thai participants. So they will do the matching and agree on the cost sharing mechanism as discussed by Pak Wayudi in his presentation. And once that is done, the admin and logistics process would kick in buying tickets, insurance, visa if necessary. But then once all those are sorted out, then we go to the first stage, which is the orientation and class observation. So in this part, so the first week of involvement will be the student teachers will observe the classes that are ongoing, and then they will also have an orientation with the partner school abroad. Second stage, after 1 week, the student teacher will be a teaching assistant. So he or she will be working with a classroom teacher and will study the lesson plan and help out in the class activities. The third stage is actually a 1 week of teaching experience where the teacher will guide the student teacher in actually handling classes. So the student teacher will be heavily involved and will actually teach, will be part of the teaching and learning process for 1 week. And he will be monitored and evaluated by the mentor coming from the partner university. And the last stage would be about reflection and lesson learned. So here, the participants, the student teachers, performance in general, and the discussions on the lessons learned will be done. Participants are also requested to have blog and report, particularly if that is required by the universities, and the agreement is flexible. So there must be a mutual agreement between the 2 universities on the final requirements or any other requirements on top of this. And then the mentor helps to check the writing progress of the student teacher. After the 4-week engagement, they will also be given an e-certificate, and the certificate, just like the CTVET, would have the QR code, and you can actually verify the authenticity of the certificate. So this is a sample that I'm showing right now. So all the 2,295 participants of the C-teacher received this certificate. So that was the story before 2020, before COVID. But then when COVID came in March 2020, we had to put on hold all the academic mobility programs to include C-teacher and CTVET. And we asked our partner C-teacher, CTVET universities on their thoughts about this. And this is a summary of the feedback that they gave us. First is that most of the universities, this involve travel and will be part of and the participants will be abroad for 1 month. So one concern will be the health and wellness concern because of the increasing COVID-19 cases in Southeast Asia. Second would be the lockdown in countries and schools. So in varying granularities, we see that this has been a major challenge because it is virtually impossible to travel in the last 12 months, and it's still being felt as we speak. And then the suggestion offered by the partner universities is to move the academic mobility programs to 2021 or as soon as situations improve. Others are saying to postpone until cure or vaccine is available. And then there's an overwhelming suggestion to have an online program and virtual learning exchanges. So with the last suggestion to have a virtual learning exchange, so we formulated the senior lecture series. Dr. Ethel has talked about it in her presentation, but in the entire month of August, we launched this program where we featured our partner C-Teacher and CTVET universities. So we gathered their best presentations, the best lectures coming from these partner universities to share the learning online. So unlike the other webinars that you may have attended, the C-Teacher, CTVET lecture series are different because it focuses on easy and practical and very easy to replicate tips and suggestions on how to survive, how to teach, and how to learn during the COVID-19 pandemic. So you will see that the themes that we had in this initial run, the first one, we talked about mobility and teaching innovations in the new normal. On the second session, we talked about the innovative teacher education in the new normal. And then we had a topic about technology and modern agriculture. And the last is smart business and hospitality in the new normal. So this is the initiative that we launched. And as you may have seen in the presentation of Dr. Ethel, this was very successful. And as we speak, it's being viewed and reviewed, rewatched by so many participants from all over, because these are all accessible through our official YouTube channel and also in our Simyo website. So the C-Teacher, CTVET lecture series shared innovative teaching experiences and offered a platform to develop the capacities of teachers of C-Teacher and CTVET program and update competencies in technology transformation, and for diploma and bachelor students and teachers. So these are the feedback that we got. So we have so many very positive feedback for this, and they appreciated a lot all the topics that we shared during this Simyo lecture series. That ends my presentation about the C-Teacher. So I hope that you appreciated all these, and we hope to see you in the future Simyo learning events, particularly in Simyo Congress, which will be happening next month. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rafi. I would like to pass to Mas Lukman or Mas Akbar.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rafi, for your presentation, and also Pak Dr. Wahyudi. So both of you have presented and introduced the Simyo in general, and then you present the two major programs, that is C-TVET and C-Teacher, for in the context of education, student, pre-service student, yeah, and also for the teachers. And I think it's a very, you have opened a big chance, yeah, for all of us here, all the participants, whether it's students or teachers, students in the universities, and also the lecturers, to join the Simyo programs, yeah, in order to collaborate with the international members, international citizen of in ASEAN. All right, but we will move on to the question and answer session. But before that, my first question is: last year we have our study program have ready to join the C-Teacher program, but it should be postponed during the pandemic. So what about this year, Rafi?
For this year, we are actually planning a C-Teacher CTVET Summit. So it will be a consolidated event. And I think we have written to UE for all our C-Teacher and CTVET partner universities. We have actually administered a survey form, and we are investigating the possibility of having an online program. So the one that I showed you earlier, the 4 stages of C-Teacher, it will be, we are trying to approximate it to an online version, an online C-Teacher program. So that's something that you should watch out for, and it's actually in the pipeline already, and we're just waiting because we have lined up a series of activities. So it could be part of one of our Senior Learning Thursdays. I'm sure you are familiar with that.
Okay.
So we'll keep you posted. Definitely, it's coming.
Okay, looking forward to it, Rafi. So I guess there is a registration for the lectures who like to join as the, what do you call that, the advisor, supervisor of the students, right? Yeah.
For the senior lecture series, there's actually no registration form for it. But at the end of each session, we post, for those who would need a certificate of participation, then you need to access a certain online form. But for the upcoming, the summit that I'm discussing, the C-Teacher, CTVET, the one that's in the pipeline, definitely all our partner universities will be invited before the schedule. So we're just in the process of fixing our calendar because all the data are now with us. We have received all the inputs from our partner institutions, education institutions.
Okay, thank you very much, Rafi. Well, I think our program is also ready to participate in your programs this year, hopefully.
Yeah, I think Dr. Wayu's slide, there's a mention on about the CTVET research and educators. So we're thinking of expanding that as well because the C-Teacher is basically for student teachers. So it's also a possibility to have something for the administrators and for the researchers as well.
All right, that's nice. Thank you very much. So this is a big information, yeah, for the participants, students, teachers, and lecturers. You have a chance to participate in the senior program despite the pandemic. Yeah, we can still do something online, at least. All right, I would like to open the question and answer session for the participants. If you have any question that you would like to deliver directly to all the speakers, we have Pak Hermawan here, and we also have Pak Wahyudi and also Rafi to answer your questions. Okay, we have a question from the chat box. This is from Pak Khairuddin from Mataram, from Universitas Mataram. I don't know who should answer this question, but perhaps Pak Hermawan and Pak Wahyudi can answer. How to make the curriculum in higher education so that it's equivalent, or what do you call it? Equivalent, yeah, for all or for the same study programs in ASEAN. Yeah, how we make the curriculum in our study program so that it is equivalent with the other or the relevant study programs in other universities in ASEAN. Okay, anyone would like to answer, Pak Hermawan or Pak Wahyudi?
For me, maybe to arrange to make a good curriculum related with internationalization program in ASEAN, maybe we need a study program association first. What kind of subject of study that may be related to international standard? I think it is important, and then we can searching or looking for similar curriculum that may be adopted in some countries in ASEAN. For example, in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Philippines, what kind of subject of study that similar with our curriculum. So if we have the same several curriculum, maybe it is make us possible to make curriculum exchange, for example, or maybe for student internship. I think my answer is okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wahyudi, you would like to add something on
Yes,
this?
Mr. Lukman. So for the curriculum, we may refer to the M program headed by Ryan. So actually, like mutual recognitions. When an institution would like to set up a collaboration with another, with two students together, whether the curriculum what they call equal to each other, so that when you your student study at the institutions, they will be recognized and so on and so forth. Okay, so actually, as Dr. Ethel mentioned also in her presentation, in 2019 we have a meeting on higher education. So we mentioned about the Tokyo Protocol, about how can we harmonize the curriculum so that when you study in the regions, you will have the same recognitions. Okay, so and refer to Pak Hermawan, just correct Pak. We need to sit down together, whether your curriculum and our curriculum. I mean, other curriculum we don't have it because we are CMEO, we are university. Okay, so how to harmonize? That's the key. I
Yes.
hope you can answer that question.
That was the meeting in 2015, right?
No, 19, Pak. 19
Oh,
last
19.
year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's
15
still,
is
and of course it's just a pre-discussion before the harmonization process. Yeah, it's still going on.
Oh yes. It is not so easy. It is like a long way. It's like, for example, from the M program, there is like a consortium of university. They sit down together to what do you call, to harmonize their curriculum, so that Pak Hermawan right, which program that we need to be harmonized. Yeah. Okay. For example, education administration. You should also talking about education, not talking about the other as engineer whatsoever. Okay, doesn't match. Yeah.
Okay.
It is visible, even though a long way to go, but visible.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Wahyudi. Actually, for the harmonization, I remember what the government is now issuing about the policy of Merdeka Belajar, right? In which students can learn or study several times in other universities, and I think the issue of curriculum harmonization will appear also. Correct, Pak Hermawan, yeah?
Actually, Mas Lukman, sorry, Mari. Brother, please go ahead.
For the C teacher, it's actually a mutual recognition between the two universities. So for the 1 month engagement, we're just actually capturing the credit equivalent of the internship program, which is present across all whatever university you may be in. So it functions on that bilateral relationship only. So it's important for these two institutions who will be exchanging students to have synchronized curriculum, synchronized calendar, so that at the end of the program, they will be recognizing each other's merits. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I get it. The only course that has been harmonized is internship, right? Because through that course we can do some exchange or have a practicum in other university or industry, something like that. But for the other courses, still long time to go. Okay, thank you. Now there is some question. I guess some people are interested with the CMU programs. This one, Pak Sulistyo Budi Utomo, he asked about the C teacher program or the student mobility program, how to apply to those programs. And Ibu Sri Suharti, I believe she's also a teacher, how to join the CMU program. Yeah, I think this is quite similar questions. And also from Dea Monica, this is our student, yeah. She asked how to join the programs for the students. So we have two different sides, yeah. How to join the program from the side of teacher and from the side of the students. Pak Wahyudi and Rafi, would you like to give some explanation?
Okay, Mas Lukman. Okay, Brother Rafi, I will go to first. For teachers, you know, as in my presentation, Pak Lukman, we have the home of 26 regional center, right? So actually, for education, we have almost 16 centers focusing on education development. So, Ibu, in every centers, they have their own program, and some program is like, you know, free to join, but of course you need to go through the, what do you call, like selection. Okay, some is free, like, you know, a webinar, conference, it is free. But for regular courses, you have to go to such a process, you know, like filling the application forms, interview, and then you have like either 2 weeks or 3 weeks program, and then you get certificate. Okay. Also for students, some centers, they have like a program for you from you to join. Please, what do you call, browse all our centers. Okay, you key in Simeo, and then inshallah Google will you know, show you a long list of our center. Okay. Brother Rafi, please.
Yes, for the questions about if you're interested to participate in C-Teacher and C-TVET, the normal process is if the situations will improve and we can go back to the face-to-face learning, and the borders will open, the process will be we course it through the International Relations Office of all the universities. So there would be a communication coming from us, and we will be requesting from the universities, participating universities, to submit to us possible participants for this program. And then the same way, it works on the assumption that if you have 5, for example, then we will pair it with another 5 coming from the other countries. And then we will but prior to this communication, agreement must be first reached between these 2 universities. So once the agreement between the 2 universities will be done, then we will now invite them to screen possible participants for this exchange program. So for the moment, it's still on hold, but as I have shared earlier, hopefully the C-Teacher, C-TVET Summit on the online exchange program will happen, and it's actually being worked out right now. But for the more details, you can check our website or just Google C-Teacher, C-TVET for Simeo, and then you will know more about the details. But basically, that's it. We course it through, we don't deal with the students individually. So we course it through the institutions, through the international relations of the partner universities, as soon as agreement has been reached by the 2 institutions.
Thank you, Rafi, for your explanation. Now we have a question.
Mas Lukman, may I add? I refer to Pak Budi Utomo, yes, Sulistyo.
Yes.
If Pak Budi, if your university not part of our networks, then you need to reach us. Mas Lukman, Pak Budi from which university? Is it from Brawijaya or from?
I guess no. Pak Sulistyo Budi, are you here? Pak Sulistyo Budi, dari kampus mana, Bapak? Oh, still no answer, Pak.
Okay, but you know, Mr. Rafi explanation is for those who already in our network. But if your university is not in part of our network, then you need, you know, to reach us first that you want to join. Am I right, Mr. Rafi? Because
yes, the one that I explained is if you are part of the Senior Schools Network, the SSN.
Yes.
So it's a requirement to be part. If your institution is not part of the Senior Schools Network, then please check our website and fill out the form, and we'll assess. And then once you're part of the network, we will communicate with you for the future updates and learning events from CIP.
Okay, thank you. Now, to the question from Pak Taufik Akbar, the MC has sent me a question regarding the cost that we or the participant of the C-teacher or C-TVET programs that they have to spend when joining this program. Can you make an average number of spending for joining this program in case, let's say this is not in the pandemic situation, in normal situation? Please, Rafi.
In the normal situation in the past, it depends on the partner universities, because if the partner university has a dormitory or has a lodging facility or like a laboratory hotel, then these universities, the participants would need not pay for any accommodation expenses. And for 4 weeks, that's going to be a substantial cost if this will be borne by the students. So it actually depends on the agreement. That's why the first step is crucial for the 2 universities or the 2 institutions to agree on the mechanism. Because if they will say, we can shoulder accommodation and meals, then the expectation is for the other university to also do the same. So it works on mutual sharing of expenses. So yeah, that's the best answer that I can tell. So it varies, but the most expensive item will be the cost of accommodation and the plane fare between the 2 countries.
Okay, yes, all right. Thank you very much. And now move on to question from Pak Andi Fahrifala. I have a question to Mr. Wahyudi. In your opinion, what are the benefits of SIMEO for Indonesia, especially in Indonesia education? Okay, please, Pak Wahyudi.
Thank you very much, Mas Lukman and Pak Andi Fahrifala. While I believe that SIMEO as organizations not only benefit to Indonesia, but to all regions, including Timor-Leste, the newest SIMEO member countries. Why? Because, we have, as I mentioned before, 26 SIMEO regional centers dealing on education, science, cultures, and we serve equally to all the regions. So definitely, Bapak, this is not just a diplomatic mission, but it's like a real missions to move forwards, not only for Indonesia, but to all SIMEO member countries. And luckily, we have the support among our collaboration. We are supported by our active associate member country, and also we have so many active affiliate members. They are very happy to working with us. Okay. We didn't see any disadvantage of the SIMEO program. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And now it depends on the education institution in Indonesia how we seek advantage from the existence of SIMEO. And I believe this will be very beneficial to all countries because it has been established since 1965, sir. 1965.
Oh. Yes, 65, correct, 65. We almost 56 now, yes, correct.
Yeah, with such a long time in establishment, there should be some advantages. Yeah, if not, it should be closed down. Okay, thank you very much, Pak Wahyudi.
Mas Lukman, maybe for example, for education, so we have 16. We train our teachers in any subjects: mathematics, science, language, English, agriculture. Okay, so I think we have many alumni already, and they share what they have learned from the courses to the other field teachers. Okay? And of course, maybe Andy can argue what is the measures it is not so easy to assure the benefit. But believe me, the teachers who come from finish the courses from our centers, they will improve FNA teacher, the teaching and learning approaches. The students become love their subjects. They can learn meaningfully and also more happily.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Again, this is an opportunity for lecturers, teachers, and students to improve yourself through the SIMEO programs. Thank you very much, Pak Wahyudi. And I think that is the end of the question and answer session. And if I may conclude, so the collaboration is something that we should do and move forward in all levels of education, and SIMEO has opened opportunities for that collaboration, especially the international one. Okay, I think thank you very much, Pak Dr. Hermawan, for your presentation, and also Rizka Farapila, Pak Wahyudi, Mr. Raffi Kada, and also Dr. Chanmon for your presence today. And from me, thank you very much for joining us, for all of the participants, and I will give the time back to our friend Taufik Akbar Al-Fajri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you. Salam.
Can you mute? Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lukman, for the great moderator. Okay, we finally entered the last session of today's event, which is the closing section. But before that, I would like to thank you to the moderator for his great for his awesome job to do as a moderator, and also thank you to all of the speakers. And don't worry, there's no attendance list, so all the audience and the speaker will get the e-certificate that will be shown by Bapak Dr. Hermawan. Please, Bapak Dr. Hermawan, can you show the certificate?
Okay, where is the certificate? Okay, on behalf of Universitas Brawijaya, we are very grateful for the contribution of speaker, also participant, and especially for Pak Wahyudi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pak.
I think your material is very important for us. And then also Mr. Who can I again? Rapal or ada. Thank you very much. Okay, also next. Next certificate, please. Hopefully not only two. Okay, Mr. This okay. Rizka Farah, this is my student. Thank you for your contribution. Okay, and then from our speaker from CMU, I think, also from special for Mrs. Dr. Ito. We prepare a certificate for all speaker and also participant as in this iVISID. Thank you very much, Mas Lukman, Mas Taufik Akbar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Dr. Hermawan, for the e-certificate. It will be delivered through your email if you fill the form, and it will be delivered for in your email maybe a week later. So this is the end. I hope we can meet again next time. My name is Taufik Akbar, and I will close the session. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Simeo.
Raffi. Thank you, Mas Lukman, Pak Endarman.
Thank you, Pak Wahyudi.
Don't forget to register our congress.
Natatan Thank you very much.